Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nady, and today we'll be testing out the Jaclyn Cosmetics Skin Tint and Concealer against the Morphe version. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my sugary little sandcastles, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you're having a marvelous day so far. I myself am doing excellent. I just finished a full day of filming and trying this stuff out. And I gotta say, I was very much less than impressed. And I actually just looked at the reviews of this on Ulta's website, and it is shitty reviews. I didn't even think to look on the Ulta website. I just went on the Jaclyn Cosmetics website, which had glowing reviews. But even though I applied quite a bit of moisturizer and a great primer underneath this on one side, this looked so creasy, so cakey, so dry, and just altogether garbage underneath my eyes. This skin tint, it was okay. It just wasn't worth 34 or 36, whatever the fuck dollars it was. Other than the packaging, I would never know that this isn't more than like a $10 product. I would fully expect to see this in like the clearance bin at the checkout at Marshall's. And I'm not even trying to be mean or shady. I'm just trying to give you the best descriptions here, but this is like water with maybe a little bit of, I don't know, dust particles in it for coverage. Other than that, there really isn't much to it. Certainly not enough to justify the price tag. But after I reviewed Rem Beauty, the Ariana Grande makeup line, I noticed that it was kind of produced by the same people who are in line with Morphe, and so I assumed that that was probably made in the same lab, which I'm pretty sure it was, and people were like, well, so is this. And I don't know why that never really clicked for me beforehand, because you gotta admit, Jaclyn has done amazing things for Morphe, and so it would just make sense that they kind of make her stuff. And even if this were absolutely bangable and really, really good, if it's the same as the quarter of the price Morphe product, I'm probably gonna recommend the Morphe product, because at the end of the day, it might just be the same product in different packaging, and I'm gonna go for the cheaper one. But truthfully, even if these are the same, I'm still not gonna recommend it. I don't know what I paid for this, but I think it was probably maybe $10 to $15 for the skin tint, and definitely under $15 for the concealer. But if they look like these products, no. However, if you are able to make dry products look really good, this did have excellent coverage. Like, it looked so beautiful from a distance, but I don't want to look good from a distance. I want to look good at every angle, no matter how far away I am, which is why this product wasn't so hot with me. And I also made mention in my review that you can tell this was designed by an influencer, because on camera from a distance, this looks really good, but in real life, it looks like trash. And also, this is nothing personal. Like, I don't know Jaclyn, and for the most part, I really like this brand's products. Like, they've launched some things that I actually use almost every day. So I don't have anything out for anybody here. I'm just trying to be honest with you, baby. It's my job. But quick recap for this stuff. This concealer is available in 35 shades. Pretty damn good. However, it does look like a fuck ton of light colors, but without seeing it in front of me, I really can't tell you if it's a good shade range or not. But they certainly do have extensive colors. For this guy, it retails for $34. It also doesn't have very good reviews on here. Surprising. But this only comes in like 10 or 12 colors, because you are supposed to have several shades in between the colors. Like, even if you're fair or you're medium skin tone, you can get away with using the light or the medium. And now I totally understand that, because to actually get any kind of coverage, you would have to apply this whole fucking bottle. And for me, with one pump on my face, it did create kind of like a white cast on my skin, almost like an SPF kind of sunscreeny. Then with two whole pumps on my face, I was starting to see a little bit of coverage, but still a lot of redness on my face, and absolutely nothing for any kind of imperfection. So a very minuscule amount of coverage, but still pretty, but also a little bit dry and textured and kind of cakey on the skin. And then with 3 pumps on my face, all blended out with my hands and then tapped into place with a damp sponge, it very heavily resembled what 1 pump of my Maybelline Fit Me looks like. I really think this product is perfect if you care more about spending money than how your skin looks. Okay, no, I'm kidding. That was me just being a bitch. I think that this product is perfect for somebody who already has really pretty skin, but is just looking for, I don't know, because literally this did nothing that a moisturizer couldn't do. I don't recommend that product. I'm sorry. I know it's just makeup. It's really not that big of a deal, but this is kind of a hefty price tag for something that doesn't do much, or at least it does something that you could achieve much more inexpensively. So let me start with a side-by-side comparison of the ingredients for these concealers. They could be totally different. I guess I just assumed they might be somewhat similar because they came from almost the same brand. The ingredients actually are quite different. To be honest, I prefer the Morphe ingredients, and it has better reviews. It was $12. It almost seems like the Morphe one is a bit more skincare geared, whereas the Jaclyn one is just a basic run-of-the-mill, nothing too terribly special concealer. Morphe also has quite a few more shades of the skin tint to choose from, and it's like half the price. It also has much better reviews. I think I prefer the Jaclyn ingredients more than the Morphe one, but also I know how the Jaclyn works and it doesn't look that great, so who cares how good the ingredients are if it doesn't look good on your skin. I did prime half my face with my Laura Mercier blurring primer and a little bit of skincare, and then the other side I just left plain because they said you can actually use this as a primer, and I did like the plain side better versus the primer side, but on both sides the concealer transformed like 3, maybe 4 shades deeper, and you could tell exactly where I put it, and it turned so fucking yellow. Like even on my hands it was turning yellow. Like I don't know if you can see that on my hand. This is the same color that I applied. These two colors are supposed to be the same. Yeah. That is a very, very big color difference. Do you see that little baby? Like, yas, mama. Woof. So needless to say, by the end of the day, it just looked like I got face fucked by an ear of corn. Just not a cute look, but hopefully we can find a product that works for me. I don't know, I'm not like a big Morphe fan or anything, but if you like the way that the Jaclyn products look, maybe these could be a good dupe for you. I don't know. I do know that neither of these necessarily say, at least on the packaging, that you need a primer. So just to really make sure that everything is adhered, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of moisturizer beforehand, and certainly a little bit of under eye cream. And I'll give this about 10 minutes to really sink in because I don't want to fuck anything up. Like, that's not the point of this. We want to be as fair as possible. The shades were really difficult to decipher online. I don't know why the fuck I ordered that. It looks delicious. Oh my gosh. It's like a beautiful caramel. Here is Hint of Latte. That actually might be okay for me. I wonder how long these have been sitting. They're not the easiest to combine. Like, I'm really shaking these shits up. All right, I think Hint of Latte is probably gonna be the closest match that I have. And they do say start off at a drop at a time. Oh my gosh, I thought it was just gonna be 1 drop. Well, let's take that, and I'm gonna apply this with my hands because that's how the other one applied best. Let's see, how are we looking? Oh, okay. Honestly, already, that 1 little drop is about as much coverage as the 3 pumps of the Jaclyn got me. It blends out really, really well. It actually sits in my beard much nicer than the Jaclyn one. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily offering that much coverage. It just looks a little bit healthier. I think I'm just gonna take a little bit more. I know that looks like a lot, but this is such a thin, watery formula. It just like blends out. Does it smell like caramel or cotton candy or something? I don't know. It kind of smells edible, like a pecan pie. This looks really, really pretty. I think this is what the Jaclyn was trying to be. And again, I'm not trying to be shady, but everything about this formula is just better because the Jaclyn one is really, really thick and it has the consistency of a full coverage foundation. And so it's not the easiest to spread out on my face. Like both that and the concealer dried down before I was able to really spread it out evenly. But this, because it is on the thinner, more watery side, I think that looks great. I don't know if you can even tell a difference between the two sides. This side has a little bit on it. It just looks a little bit more even. Really not that big of a difference. But this was only $12, so I don't necessarily mind the sheerness that it has because it's so inexpensive. It is kind of doing the same thing as the Jaclyn on my forehead where it's a little bit cakey looking. It certainly doesn't feel weightless. I'll give it a little bit of time to dry down. But yeah, that is absolutely a product that I would feel comfortable to continue using. The price to me is perfect, and I honestly feel like I could have used any of these colors and it still would have looked okay, which is why I completely understand why there's so few shades in the Jaclyn launch. Like, it just doesn't make sense to launch a bunch of shades in between if they're all gonna end up looking the same on the skin. But also, that just lets you know how little coverage it actually has if all of these products can work for so many people. So it really isn't doing that much. Next, I'm gonna go in with the light medium Jaclyn, and here is what that consistency is. Again, very, very fucking thick. And that 1 pump I think might be a little bit too much to start off with, so let's just take half of it and kind of distribute it over this half of my face. Immediately, I just noticed that it has a little bit of a white cast, but not that bad. I think I actually took a little bit more on this side than I did the first time I tried it because this is pretty, I think. It's still, to me, not worth the price. Like, it looks very similar to the $12 side. To me, it doesn't really look as dry as the first time I used it. Maybe you just need a really good moisturizer beforehand, and that's what I used. So just to build up the coverage, I'm gonna take the other half and try spreading this over my face. Again, I know this looks like a lot, but then when you actually spread it out, there isn't that much there. I will be 1000% honest. this looks so much better than the review. And I think I attribute that to directly applying this over that moisturizer. Like I said, I was gonna wait 10 minutes, but I actually didn't because I totally forgot. I think it's maybe been like 5 minutes since I applied the moisturizer, and that actually looks really, really pretty. I can't tell that big of a difference between the two sides. I think this one might be a little bit lighter and maybe a little bit better coverage, although I did apply quite a lot. But again, since the sides are so similar, I would be more likely to buy the cheaper one. But both sides do look pretty decent. They did suggest that you go in and bounce it in with a damp sponge, so let's do that. And that to me is just adding to the prettiness. It's really not taking away that much product. It's just like pressing it into my skin so it looks like a second skin. I don't know. I don't really dislike either side. What do you think? It's kind of fun to find what makes a product work good so you get the most out of your money. And for either side, I wouldn't say a primer is necessary, but whether or not you have dry skin or hydrated skin, a moisturizer is a must. But on camera, I really and truly think the Jaclyn side looks better. In person, I think they both look the exact same. When my face hits the light, this side just looks more blurred than the Morphe side. That could be because there's a bunch of titanium dioxide in this and there's a flashback. I have no idea. Quality-wise, I like the Jaclyn one. Price-wise, I like the Morphe one. Neither is that big of a difference to really justify the price, so I still say the Morphe wins. I'm gonna take just a couple more drops, which I know this is a lot seeming, and I'm gonna tap it out with this sponge and see if I can get both sides to look just as pretty and blurred, because maybe you need a little bit more of the Morphe product. I don't know. Well, I think that may have honestly been the ticket. They both look the exact same, don't they? And I still didn't even use that much of this product. It's just so fucking liquidy that it looked as though I applied a lot. But I dare say these both look the exact same. I know they're not the exact same because they have different ingredients, but if I'm looking in the mirror, I can't tell that I have two different products on. I really can't tell that I have any product on, but they both do look pretty fucking equal. Like, what do you think? Yes? Can you tell the difference? Maybe? No? Huh? I think this second time using it, I am more impressed with this Jaclyn formula, but I'm still not sold on it. Like, I'm never gonna say it's worth the price, especially after seeing that this one that's like half the price almost looks the exact same. Oh, see, but there's something about the Jaclyn one that I do like a little bit more, but I don't know. I think the Jaclyn one is just the slightest bit lighter, and that's what I like because it's closer to my actual skin tone, whereas the other side is a little bit more tan. I've never really been that much of a tint person myself. I've kind of been more like a light coverage foundation person, but this really excites me because I would absolutely use these drops. I'm kind of curious to see how they wear throughout the day, but let's go ahead and apply a little bit of the concealer over this. For Morphe, this is the Morphe 2 Hide and Peak Concealer. I got Peak of Pearl, Peak of Fawn, and Peak of Vanilla, and I ended up getting a lighter shade for the Jaclyn. This is light neutral. The other one got way too deep for me. I don't know if these are gonna change. If they do change, I would go in with Peak of Pearl, but if they're not gonna change, I'd probably go in with either of these other two. Oh my gosh, this is the funniest thing. I had a really hard time uncapping the Jaclyn one too. So here is the Morphe one, here is the Jaclyn one. I would say the tubes are similar, but they really aren't. Like, this is your basic concealer tube. You can compare a million different brands. And truthfully, I actually prefer the look of the Jaclyn one. It just looks a little bit more luxurious, which it should because it's much more expensive. Just to be safe, I'm gonna go in with the lightest one from Morphe. This is Peak of Pearl. That's fun to say. Peak of Pearl, it's like a Pokemon. And we're gonna start very, very sparingly with this. Oh my gosh. Maybe I like the Morphe one better. This applicator is very, very nice. It actually has a deep kind of well in it. But we'll take this right here and I'm gonna go in super light and we will blend that out with a nice fluffy brush in a stippling motion right here. I would assume this brush is probably gonna soak up a majority of this, so we might have to double up here, but already this looks way better than the Jaclyn one. Let's go in a little bit heavier with the second application here. Same kind of dryness under the eyes, but not nearly as bad. I wouldn't say this has quite as much coverage as the Jaclyn one though, but as far as the actual finish, this shit actually looks pretty decent. What the fuck? So let's go in with the Jaclyn side. This formula seems much thicker, but hopefully it'll blend out just as easily. I don't know. Kind of curious to see what color this one will turn into. Oh, okay. So instantly it is very, very crusty underneath my eyes. However, the coverage is really tripping me up. Like, this looks so pretty, but then up close, I just look like a fucking lizard. Like, so dry, so textured, so cakey, but again, not quite as bad as the first time I used it. I really think that eye cream helped, but oh my gosh, this is so fucking creasy. I'm not even sure that I have to double up on this. I think even though I applied less to this side, the coverage is more, and it just looks better, like from a distance. Whereas this side, I don't think the coverage is quite as there, but in person, it does look better. It looks a little bit more natural. Neither side is ideal. Like, I definitely have concealers that look better than both of these and is around the price of the Morphe one. I kind of want to take just a little bit more of this Morphe one right. Oh, fuck, that's the wrong one. I'm gonna try to wipe it off with this sponge. Hold on. Or shit, I was gonna add some anyways. Let's just tap it out. Oh, with a sponge, that looks pretty decent. Shit. And then let's blend out the Jaclyn side with a clean edge. All right, so this side on camera looks so pretty, and that's kind of like what I was saying, where you can tell this is made by an influencer because it's made to look good on camera. But in person, it looks really dry. It looks cakey. It looks cracked. It's basically like an elbow in the wintertime. The other side, I don't think it looks that great. It is a little bit thick, a little bit textured, a little bit on the drying side, but not nearly as creasy. And in person, to me, it looks better. But on camera, again, this side really wins. So I guess it kind of depends on you, like what you're going to be using these for. If you're going to be using these with photography, I honestly wouldn't, because I think both brands have titanium dioxide, so you're going to have like a flashback Mary moment. But if you're like vlogging or something and you do just want a little bit of like a nice soft look, I totally say the Jaclyn side. But if you're like an everyday kind of person and you want a more affordable option, I say the Morphe side. In my first review of the Jaclyn products, I did have to kind of set everything into place. Otherwise, it felt like it was melting away, especially the concealer, but it really didn't seem like I needed that much product. So I'm just going to take some Laura Mercier translucent setting powder on a fluffy ass brush and gently sweep it over the face. These products are already kind of borderline dry and cakey, so I really don't want to enhance that. And then let's also take a little bit right underneath the eyes. The Jaclyn one, I kind of feel like you need to press the powder in because it's just so damn creasy. However, when I do that, it just seems to dry the product up too much. So I'm having a hard time finding like the happy medium for how to make this work. Oh, but that powder really did seem to help both sides. And I gotta be honest, I think I like all the products on the Jaclyn side a little bit more, even with the creasy under eyes. Like this side doesn't look that bad with the Morphe, but it's a little bit more obvious on this side that I'm wearing makeup. Something about just the way that the products are laying down, like the concealer especially, it's not necessarily bad, but you know those concealers where it just looks like you're wearing a concealer? That's how both of these look, and if I have to have that look, this one looks better. And I think it plays with the Laura Mercier a little bit better as well. But if I'm looking in the mirror, I really can't tell a big difference between the sides. It just looks like this side doesn't have quite as much product on it. So maybe the Morphe shit just needs a little bit heavier of a hand. I don't know. So yes, here we are up close. What do we think? This is the Jaclyn side. This side is the Morphe side. Do you even see a difference? Do they both look good? Do they both look awful? Do I look like a giant walking ass cheek? All of this is possible. Please let me know. But as far as natural goes, I guess the Morphe side wins because I can still see flaws, and part of being natural is having flaws. But if you're looking for a more flawless natural finish, the Jaclyn side really is pretty. But she is a creasy mother of fook under there. And it's actually pretty creasy on both sides. I don't know what you'll be able to see. I am going to do a wear time test and I'll show you in natural light. So this is how I'm going to leave it. Normally I do a full face, but I found that when I do a full face, the other products that I use really save the products that I'm testing, and that's like not fair. I want to see how this shit looks. So I will see you in just a little bit. Check and alert. Hopefully my heat isn't too loud. It is flurrying out. It is freezing. My poor heater's doing overtime. It's also like lavendery purple out. Very interesting. But here is what we look like in cloudy daylight. I really think both of these sides look beautiful. Like the amount that the Jaclyn side transformed after just using a really good hydrating moisturizer is incredible. And a little bit scary because that kind of tells me that this is a really finicky product. Let's go in my bathroom under normal lighting. See, I just keep looking at this side of my face. The Morphe, it's fine. Like if my whole face looked like that, I wouldn't think anything of it. But comparing the two sides, to me, the Jaclyn side just looks a little bit more blurred. It looks great in the mirror. I am so much happier with that lighter concealer. I don't necessarily think that concealer is something that I regularly use. I have way better concealers that are certainly way more affordable. Also, hi honey, how are you today? But yes, here we are up close. She is very, very creasy down there. This side, not so much, but still a little bit. I don't know if you can really tell a difference between the coverage, but this side just looks blurred. Shit, I'm just so fucking indecisive. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a little bit longer of a wear time. I am noticing that both sides on my nose, it's starting to come off, and I've not even had this on for very long. It's maybe been 40 minutes, and I'm really not that oily of a creature, but I don't know if the moisturizer may have fucked things up a little bit. Maybe this would be better adding moisturizer to like the face and ignoring the schnoz. I don't know. But I'm still gonna say the Jaclyn side is not worth the price. Like together, these products were $50, almost $60. And this to me doesn't look like a $60 finish. This side I wanna say was maybe around $30, and I don't know that that looks like a $30 finish, but that price is definitely a little bit better than this price. I don't know, I guess let's wear this for the rest of the day and I will see you then. And we are back. It is the end of my day, and a very long one at that. I'm ready to look at this and take it off. They actually look pretty much the same. The only difference is that they are kind of rubbing off on the nose, which was happening very early into this wear time. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they look the exact same as when I first applied them. Oh, fuck, that one hurt. I just ate a cheese stick and part of it was still in my throat. If I look in my monitor, I still think that this side looks so pretty. I think this side is fine, but now at this point, both in person and on camera, I think the Jaclyn side is really, really pretty, which is a total 180 from what I thought would happen. I still don't think it's worth the price. Like, if I want this kind of a look, I'll still use the Morphe one, just because it's cheaper and I don't think they look that much different. But this side certainly looks a little bit more airbrushed to me. And even going throughout my house, looking in the mirrors and different lighting, this side still clearly wins. I don't think that you're gonna like this product if you do have drier skin, because a moisturizer is only gonna take you for so long. And I think the only reason why this still looks so good is because last night I did like a really hydrating mask. I put a bunch of oil on my face, and that seems to have made it look okay throughout the day. It is starting to break up, and it's not like it's been like 8 or 12 hours. It's literally only been like maybe 4. And even after just 4 hours, I am seeing a little bit of decay with this makeup. Like, it's coming apart in certain areas. It's still creasing really badly underneath my eyes, which makes me think that I probably have a little bit too much of this on, but this is the kind of coverage that I'd want. So I think this just isn't a product for me, unless I'm gonna be on camera and not doing a look, which even if that's the case, I'd still rather use the inexpensive Morphe, because if I didn't have this side to compare this side to, I think this would be perfectly fine. Or maybe you're seeing something completely different than what I'm seeing, so please let me know. Like, does this side not look better than this side? Do they look the exact same? I don't know. Cameras pick up way more things than the naked eye. Are these the same? Fuck to the no. I think the Jaclyn formula is honestly better, but I think the Morphe price is better. I'm very particular when it comes to concealers underneath my eyes because they are so creasy, and so not a lot of concealers work for me, and this is definitely not in the category of products that work. Honestly, I don't really care for either of them. If you don't have creasy under eyes, if you don't have dry under eyes, maybe you'd like the Jaclyn one, but you'd probably like the Morphe one a little bit more. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna keep trying both of these, so I'll let you know if I have any updates. So do I think any of this is worth the price? I actually do think the Morphe drops are worth the price. Like, out of everything that we tried, that's probably the only thing that I would continually use or at least repurchase. Do I recommend any of this? I don't know about that. You're gonna have to feel this out. Like, none of this was really ribbed for my pleasure. They're just products that seem to exist, but I'm still kind of curious about them. So I guess if you're curious, try them out, maybe. I don't know. But there you go. Thank you so much for being here. I love having you. And if you'd like a little bit more Nady in your life, please feel free to head over to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Poplux. You get videos a day early, you get Patreon-only content, and best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!